Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Layla, and on this channel I talk about personal development and my life here in Seoul, South Korea. I wanted to start off this video obviously by wishing everyone a happy, joyful and productive new year. I hope you are as excited as I am. 2022 was very good to me. I was able to achieve most of my goals and manifest a lot. So I wanted to go ahead and do a quick video to show you how I get prepared for the new year. Because I know when the new year comes, we can embark on two different journeys. We can either feel so overwhelmed that we don't take any actions because we believe that the new year would be just like the old year, or we can get so excited that we set up unrealistic expectations only to lose motivation, momentum, interest by, let's say, February. To avoid all that, I just want to go ahead and share with you my very basic, simple and powerful method. So if you are interested, keep on watching. The first step in my method is to pick a theme. So a theme can be a word or a short sentence that would basically describe how you would like your new year to unfold. It's going to give you a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, so that any big decisions that you make throughout the year would basically match that theme you've picked. To give you an example, in 2018, my word was growth because I had just embarked on my personal development journey and I wanted to expand and just be a better person overall. In 2022, it was my second full year in Korea. I named it the year of consolidation because I wanted to lay all the groundwork in all aspects of my life and establish myself in this new country. 2023, if you're curious, I named it the year of expansion. So what you could potentially do, I mean, if you were to follow my method, then that's what you have to do. You need to pick a theme for your 2023. Choose a word or a quick, like short sentence, but a word would be more powerful that you want to hold on to, so that any decisions you make in 2023 would align with this theme, aka word that you have picked. The second part of my method would be to divide your year into quarters, and that comes from my sales background, and I will tell you more as to why this is beneficial. So basically, instead of thinking of 2023 as a full year, you would think of it in terms of quarters. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And here's why. It's going to allow you flexibility. The truth is the year is long and you are bound to change your mind based on the people that you meet, the circumstances, the situations, the mindset shifts, etc. By thinking in terms of quarters, you would be able to adapt, to adjust, to redirect, to pivot, to change your mind, to stop, to begin again, whatever it is that you need to do. And the second thing also that's going to be helpful if you think in terms of quarters, it's going to allow you to be more focused and to be more precise in terms of what you would like to achieve, which I think is very important. Let's move on to part number 3, which I call the dumping or the wish list. And this is the most fun part. Basically, everything that you want to achieve in 2023, the thing that you want to possess, the things that you want to do, you will write all them down on a piece of paper or on your computer. It doesn't really matter. What also doesn't really matter is how you're going to make it happen. We're not going to worry about the how for now. Worry about the why. Why do I want this? Why do I want to achieve this? Why do I want to do this? That's the most important. And let your heart talk. Don't worry about the how. Don't be unrealistic, but also don't limit yourself. So try to find that right balance. Write everything down, let it simmer for a couple of days, and come back to your list. Going back to your list a couple days later, you would start to see some similarities. Therefore, you can divide things into different categories. Out of each category, I need you to extract goals. However, don't be like the majority of people coming up with random goals. I need your goal to be SMART. And by SMART, I mean specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. If your goal is not SMART, you don't want it, I don't want it, no one wants it. Because the likelihood of you achieving it is going to be slim, very slim. Make sure that behind every goal there is a plan. And that is the next step we're going to talk about. However, for the planning, the how to be effective, we need the goal to be a SMART one. Once you have your SMART goals, let's move on to the next step. Let's move on to step number 4, which is my favorite part, and that is brainstorming. I'm such a planner. I love this process. In order for this part to be successful, you need your list of SMART goals. For each goal, you would list the steps needed to achieve the goal. I'm going to select a random goal here just to show you the process. My goal here is getting a driver's license by July 2023. I'm going to list all the steps needed. Select the driving school, find out the cost, find out if I have money for it or need to save for it, take the classes, pass the test. Easy, right? 5 steps. I would then plug each step into my calendar for the year. Obviously, because the goal is in July, the sooner I start, the better. Usually, goals would require some sort of research at the very beginning. You would then plug that research as early as possible. In my case, research is required to find the driving school, to find out the cost, and to find out if I have the money for it or not. So I'm going to plug all those activities in January so that by the end of January, the latest, I have all the answers. Let's say I realize it's expensive, I don't have enough money, I need to save. Then for February, I can plug in saving money for my driver's license by having a specific goal, like maybe 200 a month or something like that, whatever it is. And then let's say by March I have enough money. Then in my March I would plug in activities such as contact different driver school, register for classes. And then based on the curriculum, if I realize that it's a process that's going to take a month or 2 months depending on classes availability, then I can plug things according to that as well. And then for maybe July or June, I can plug in tech the exam. Okay, so basically you see what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to give you a visual of how this goal is going to be achieved. And it's very important because it's going to allow you to keep track of the situation so that if there is an issue, you can pivot or you can change things, you can accelerate the process, or you can slow down the process if you realize that you need more time. But you need that visual. You need to track your goal in order to make sure it is achieved. So go back to your own list, look at every single goal that you have, list all the steps, and then plug the step into your calendar. Think of it as reverse engineering. You already have the end result. Think about what do I need to do to make things happen, and then you think in terms of sequences, and then you go back in time to know exactly when you need to start. But again, I believe that the sooner you start, the better. That gives you more time and more leeway for, life and changes or anything you have no control over. But again, listing the steps, plugging the steps into your calendar is very important. And that is what this part is about. Let's move on to part number 5. I call it discipline because discipline is going to be required. You can have all the steps in the world. You are the one taking actions. You are the one who would have to make things happen for yourself. So procrastination or letting, distraction get in the way is not going to be helpful. So make sure you have a system in place that's going to allow you to follow through with all those different actions that you need to take. And like I mentioned at the beginning, we need to work into quarters. So if you plugged all your steps into your year, you should definitely have things to do in January, February, and March, right? So based off of that, you can obviously add more things as you see fit. What I would like to do now is to just go ahead and share with you my 2023 quarter number 1. So things that I have plugged in for January, February, and March. And also quickly show you how my January list of activity is, what I have plugged into, and what I'm working on. So hopefully that's going to motivate you. And if you want to copy my style and create your Excel spreadsheet that way, feel free to do so. I want to go ahead and quickly share with you my plan for the first quarter of the year. As you can see, I have things divided in 5 different categories. They are quite specific in terms of what needs to happen. For example, my social media, I want to be able to publish 1 video a week for the first 3 months. In terms of my health, I want to exercise at least 3 times a week, and I want to lose 3 kilos by the end of this quarter. I'm going to go ahead and switch to show you how I assign myself tasks to perform. And so far, I only have my task for January. So this is basically what my task for January look like. In order for me to make sure I accomplish them, I need a visual. So this is how I have organized things. They come in 3 different status, so the not started, pending, and completed. For example, my health, it's 3 times a week. There are 4 weeks in January. So when I complete exercising 3 times, I put completed. In terms of my money, for Korean won, I want to save 3 million this quarter. So that's $1 million a month. And that has already happened because I got my paycheck at the beginning of January. Because I also make money in US dollars, I also have a US dollar amount that I want to save this quarter. And for January, it should be 1,400. That's still pending because the month hasn't ended yet. So my Korean wasn't really mentioned in my first quarter goals. However, because I want to maintain my Korean or improve my Korean, I have set myself some tasks. So meeting a language partner at least 3 times this month. I want to also start writing in Korean because that's going to help my speaking as well. And I need to send 3 essays to my teacher this month. In terms of reading, I have 2 books with short stories, and my goal is to read 20 short stories this month, or just read like a chapter of a book. So basically, this is what I have going on, and it helps me keep track of where I am at. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you found it to be informative, and I hope I've given you some tools to get started in planning your year 2023. It is not too late, but you need to get started now, and you need to have some faith and have some dreams, you know? Anyway, thank you so much. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to share them. Until then, take very good care of yourselves, and you will see me in the next video pretty soon. Bye.